All right, guys, it's time to talk about this week's Scream Queens. They returned, which is great. Full spoilers, as always, for season 1, episode 7, entitled Beware of Young Girls. A shocking event results in Dean Munch coming face to face with her ex-husband's mistress, and the Kappas use a Ouija board in hopes of communicating with the deceased Chanel number 2 and identifying the killer. Yeah, so there's also some goat stuff going on, and
Some goats, yeah.
yeah. So, Peter, what did you think about this week's episode?
I had fun with this one. It's not as good as the last one we had before it took a week off, because I thought that was the best episode of the show. But there was a lot of good stuff in here. Chanel number one's eulogy at the start of the episode for Chanel number two, in particular, was a bit of a hoot. I also love that they brought back the joke from the second episode where the journalist guy is really bad at breaking into places, and no matter what he does, he smashes the glass.
Yeah,
That really cracked me up. That really cracked me up. And I loved how creative when Feather, was that the name? Was it Heather or Feather?
I thought it was Feather.
Yeah, they kept calling her Feather. So we find out that Feather was like the mistress of Dean Munch's ex-husband and is now living with him. Her coming home and finding the body was cracking me up because it was like a hand pointing up this way, and then it was like a foot, and it said just a few more steps. Then on the door it said just ahead. Yeah, and maybe it's my dark sense of humor, but
no, you knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah, I was into that. That was good. But yeah, this was a lot of is Munch the killer? Is she not the killer? Turns out she's killed one person now.
yeah. In terms of this episode, in terms of the whole gruesome scene you just described, she was the killer,
But not for anything else, it seems, this season.
but she set up all of those like tongue-in-cheek.
I know.
I'm surprised that she didn't actually in the corner as a little annotation have like his tongue in a cheek just to be super meta about the whole thing. Like it's weird that she would set up something a lot like that haunted house was. Right? I mean,
Well, she did mention that like because there was a killer on the list, it was a perfect time to kill someone. So she probably tried to make it look like it was the
Looked like
killer.
it could have been the same group, yeah.
but that doesn't mean that she's not in cahoots with the real.
Maybe not, but right now it doesn't seem like she is to me. It seems like
It's Gigi and a guy,
or two guys. I think it's two.
too.
Yeah, I think it's
But she wants to get rid of one of them.
Yeah, I don't know what her name is. I just know she's the one that like likes the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air clothing.
it's
As
Gigi.
She's the one stuck in the 90s that's
Yeah.
dating.
With the neon shoulder pads.
Yeah.
the neon shoulder pads.
Which I enjoyed that scene because we get a reveal of a phone call to at least one of the Red Devils, so that was cool and everything. But then like immediately after we get her with who is ostensibly our main character, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll always forget her name, but because it's not Chanel. So, but you have a scene where she's like picking out clothes for her because she wants to make her dad more happy or whatever. And outside of like some little horror crescendo things in the background, like that scene's mostly just played exactly how it would be in any other episode. Which I kind of like that little switch. They always play with the music on this show, just in tiny ways. So, what do you guys think? Who do you think are the Red Devils?
Well, we know one of them, don't we? From the first episode. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
He got
yeah,
his
the
throat
gay-
slashed.
Boone?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
gay
think
front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he woke up in the morgue, so I'm presuming that he's one of them. Probably the one who they want to get rid of, considering they want to keep the surprise of the other one.
Maybe.
So I'd say
if
he's the
it's-
one obsessed with what's her name.
Yeah, it could be. What if Boone was like a brother to someone that maybe he has a sister? I think if you have, it's got to be somebody in the Kappa house, right? Because it's got to connect everybody together.
Yeah, presumably.
Well,
So then
I don't
either
know.
one of them could have been the baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know. or it was revealed all along they were twins.
I can see the show doing something like that. I do want to mention though, I loved all the stuff with the Ouija board and talking to
That dig at
Chanel number
Ouija,
2.
the movie.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah, no
great.
one's seen it. Yeah, that was good. Also, the return of the
teeth.
the Chanel number 3 have teeth in her vagina. Yes.
I love how that keeps coming back.
I know, this is one of these really weird returning jokes that's really working for me for some really bizarre reason. I thought this was another fun episode. I'm enjoying the season. I'm enjoying where it's going, and I love that reporter guy just started doing his Matthew McConaughey impression multiple times during this episode because they realised that he loves doing it. So why not?
He's good at it. So
Yeah,
may as well milk it. Speaking of milking it, we should probably talk about that goat scene. Connor, I especially want to hear your reaction here.
I want to know why he doesn't just buy goat milk. But, you know,
He likes to milk his own milk.
Fun, I guess.
yeah, it's not as fun, and it doesn't give you that insane scene of just walking down on him with a goat. Because,
Yeah, on a bed while he's
Yeah.
lying next to it and there's music playing.
yeah, there's no other show I can think that you can just have that and it not seem out of place and ridiculous compared to everything else that's going on.
Yeah, it is a Ryan Murphy show. But man, I just everything with Chad every time he shows up is it's pretty hilarious because they just keep pushing what he does.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of him in this episode. There was really just that, and then at the start of the or the funeral when he comes up to the dead Chanel number 2 and reveals that he was also porking her while she was alive because he's a total man slut.
I mean, look, he did it with Dean Munch and with the security guard and with probably that goat.
All the Chanels.
It's just, probably Boone, probably what's her face's dad, who knows? Like he gets around. That's what Chad Radwell does. You guys have anything else you really want to shout out about this episode?
No, I think I've
Just weird that we haven't had the opening credits music again since it
Yeah,
showed
we had
up,
that once.
we showed up once, like 2 episodes ago, and then gone again.
Yeah.
I'm convinced they just didn't have quite enough airtime for that episode, so they were like, let's just make an open
like a
credits.
30 seconds opening credits
Yeah.
just for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that was because that wasn't the first episode they did it on. It was like the 5th, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
which it was a fun opening credits. We didn't even talk about it that week actually.
Because I think it's more notable that it didn't come back again. Like it's notable because it only happened once randomly in like episode 4.
I think it was 5, which is almost halfway. I think there's 10 episodes.
I think it's 13.
Yeah, 13.
13.
But hey, whatever. Anyway, so that was this week's Scream Queens.